Welcome to Catalan News. The jailed Catalan Vice President has been denied an appeal to attend the upcoming sessions in the Catalan Parliament. The judge did not allow him to be present, but he might end up delegating his vote as an MP. The imprisoned official will not be transferred to a prison close to his relatives either, as he had also requested. Around 700 kilometers away from his family and behind bars, he will have to follow on TV the upcoming debate to pick a Catalan president to be held on January 31st. In today's show, we'll tell you the latest efforts of President Puigdemont's party to swear him in at a distance and the Spanish government's answer. 3 jailed Catalan leaders are still waiting for the judge to decide on their release. They testified yesterday at the Spanish Supreme Court for a 3rd time and tried to persuade the judge to free them by rejecting the unilateral path to independence. It might not be enough though, because the Catalan Vice President stayed in jail after his hearing on January 4th. Oriol Junqueras has not even been granted 2 requests that would have guaranteed his right to political representation as an elected MP.
The Spanish Supreme Court has rejected today an appeal made by the jailed Vice President Oriol Junqueras a week after it was ruled that he was to continue in preventive detention. Junqueras, elected as an MP in the December 21st election, has to be able to attend the opening session of the new term in the Catalan Parliament on January 17, as well as requesting a transferal to a prison in Catalonia, but both requests were denied. Pro-independence parties once again won a majority in the parliament, but if the 8 MPs either in prison or in Brussels don't turn up in sessions, they might lose the upcoming crucial votes. That's one of the reasons why Junqueras sought to be granted permission. Despite not getting it, the Spanish judge ruled that it is up to Catalonia's parliamentary bureau to decide whether to allow them to vote through a representative or not. So the 3 jailed officials might end up voting, but at least 1 MP in Brussels would need to be replaced in order to have a pro-independence majority in the chamber. Jail leaders Joaquim Forn, Jordi Cuixart and Jordi Sánchez also testified before the Spanish Supreme Court yesterday, essentially renouncing any action that would lead towards achieving unilateral independence. Still held on charges that could carry up to 30 years in prison, the judge is likely to make a decision on their excarceration on Monday. If or when they are released still remains a question of uncertainty. They have been behind bars for between 70 and 90 days.
These judicial cases are developing in parallel to an always intense political debate in the country, and it is heating up even more as the opening session of the new term in the Catalan Parliament looms. The question of whether Carles Puigdemont will be able to be reinstated as new president is still pending. Today the issue was discussed in Brussels in a day that might be remembered well by Puigdemont.
It is exactly 2 years today since Carles Puigdemont took office as the 130th President of Catalonia. He is now hoping to repeat this image, but it won't be easy. The ousted Catalan leader is still in Brussels and risks arrest and jail should he set foot again in Catalonia. Yet his party spokespeople, who met with him today in the Belgian capital, said that swearing him in remotely would not be an issue.
Perquè farem les coses ben fetes, aplicant el reglament com s'ha fet tota la vida i, per tant, estem convençuts que el dia 31 de gener, 29, 30 o 31, el president Puigdemont serà novament el president de tots els catalans.
What the Together for Catalonia officials did not disclose is how they intend to do it. The proposals on the table are for swearing him in via video or through a representative. However they go about it, they claim it would be shocking should Spain overturn an appointment made by the Catalan Chamber of Representatives. Shocking or not, the Spanish government is nevertheless determined to challenge this potential move, as its spokesman announced after the weekly cabinet meeting.
Que eso que pretende el señor Puigdemont de una investidura telemática no es posible con la legislación actual. No le quepa la menor duda que el gobierno recurriría inmediatamente cualquier añegaza dirigida a ese fin.
According to the spokesman, the Catalan Parliament regulations say that the chamber can be addressed from the stand or from a seat, but not from a plasma screen. Meanwhile, the Catalan Socialist Party leader, part of the Unionist bloc, announced that his MPs will not show up in Parliament if the pro-independence forces go ahead with an appointment by proxy. His party has made an official request to the chamber lawyers to find out if such a move is legal.
Everyone is discussing the appointment of a new president, but as long as a new government has not been formed, the suspension of self-rule in the country through Article 155 of the Spanish Constitution will continue. One consequence of the lack of executive might be the worsening of conditions for the audiovisual sector in the country. The Spanish tax office is claiming millions of euros from Catalan public TV in VAT after a change of criteria. The broadcaster funds a number of audiovisual projects in the country, and the sector thinks that if the tax burden is executed, the sector might lose up to 15,000 jobs.
La paràlisi de les productores catalanes serà insostenible. Molta gent quedarà a l'atur o se n'haurà d'anar a treballar en altres llocs, a Madrid o fora d'Espanya.
I si sempre parlem de números i de com afecten en el PIB i com afecten el creixement econòmic d'un país, la seva indústria, doncs no oblidem que l'audiovisual és una part important d'aquest sector.
Now we move on to an initiative launched by the Catalan Blood and Tissue Bank. From today and for 1 week, Catalans will be able to take part in a blood donor drive. The organisers aim for a positive result. After yesterday, good figures about the number of organ donations for 2017 was released. The hospitals in the country managed to carry out a record-breaking 1,100 transplants last year, thanks, in part, to these donations.
The Catalan Health Department is launching once again a donation marathon starting today. Its aims are high, more than 8,000 people in only 1 week. Here's what some donors told us.
Si tingués pasta, donaria pasta. No tinc pasta, dono sang.
I estic content de poder fer una donació i ajudar les persones que ho necessiten.
Un amic meu fa uns anys va tenir bastants anys un accident i en aquell moment reclamaven que els familiars i amics donéssim sang i des d'aquell moment vaig fer el canvi de xip i intento anar venint.
The new flu outbreak affecting Catalonia is lowering the supplies of blood available for transfusions. Official figures show that blood reserves have decreased by 15%. In total, there are some 5,000 bags of blood available, a poor figure according to the health department. This is why organizers hope to surpass the 11,000 donors from last year. The reasons for contributing to achieve it are clear.
Que donar sang és donar vida o millorar la vida de la gent. Que cada dia necessitem 1.000 bosses de sang a Catalunya, que per tant no podem permetre'ns el luxe de baixar mínimament les reserves de sang.
This year, for the first time ever, donors will receive a message on their phones once their blood has been used. Today your blood has been sent to a hospital for the patients who need it, will be the text that donors will receive. This initiative was first carried out in Sweden 1.5 years ago, and it has also been implemented in several countries since then.
In business news, 2017 was once again a busy year for the Barcelona El Prat airport. In fact, more passengers flew to and from the facility than ever before. A record 47 million passengers used the airport last year, 7% more than 2016. Indeed, despite a 20% drop in tourism in Catalonia in the last quarter of last year, in December around 3 million people flew to and from the airport, 6.4% more than the previous year. In fact, the amount of passenger traffic at Barcelona El Prat has been steadily increasing over the years, with more and more people using the facility as time goes by. And all this despite the airport strike that took place in peak tourist season in August, which saw hundreds of passengers queuing for hours before they could pass through security. 2017 was also a good year for tourism in the country, despite the drop at the end of the year, with a total of 90 million visitors from abroad choosing to take their holidays on Catalan soil. Gender violence continues to be a problem all over the world. In fact, last year 7 women were murdered by men in Catalonia alone, and 12,000 complaints were filed against acts of mistreatment or violence. At the end of 2017, another victim turned up dead. She was killed by her partner. In order to protest against these ongoing violent aggressions against women, often ending up in death, this week people have taken to the streets en masse. We leave you now with images of a demonstration denouncing violence against women. Goodbye and see you next week.
No a les violències masclistes!
I per tant, més enllà